वंशी विभूषितकरान् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरा दरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्ठात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Divine souls, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. You all are aware of the fact that we are going through chapter 5. We must keep in perspective what has been going on so far. We must keep in mind Arjuna's question. And whole chapter subsequent to that has been answered by Bhagavan to this particular question. You remember that Arjuna wanted to know from Bhagavan, please tell me decisively which is better of the two for me. And the two he mentioned, Karma Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. He wanted to have clear understanding from Bhagavan, clear direction from Bhagavan as to which one he should follow, which one is Kalyankari for him. Which of the two? Karma Sannyasa and Karma Yoga. Immediately Bhagavan gives reply and says, the Karma Yoga, Karma Sannyasat, Karma Yoga Vishishyate. Of the two, the Karma Yoga of action, the Karma Yoga, is superior to Karma Sannyas. He gave the answer, but as you will see, in Bhagavad Gita and in all our scriptures, go through the Upanishad, go through all the Shastras, whichever you pick up, you will find that a statement is made and that statement is ratified by clear explanation as to why that statement was made. So beautiful, so scientific, and it is, if it is not understood by someone, it is his lack of understanding. But it has been given throughout Bhagavad Gita. As you can see, Bhagavan is Bhagavan. Arjuna is asking the question. He would have just heard from him, okay, Karma Yoga is better, so okay, take it. No, Bhagavan explains in detail as to why Karma Yoga is better than renunciation. And we have gone through a number of verses. We have also covered verse 6 of chapter 5, where after having said, Sankhya Yogo Prithak Bala Pravadanti na Pandita Ekamapyastaya Samyak Uvayor Vindate Phalam. We have gone through that with the verse 4, and he says that although they are same, it is Bala, those who are not having that good understanding or who are ignorant, they consider them as two, one different from the other. The Karma Sannyasa being different from Karma Yoga. But for those who are Pandita, knowledgeable, for them they are the same, because yat sankhye prapte sthanam tadyogairapi gamyate ekam sankham cha yogam cha yah pashyati sa pashyati. We have gone through that, but Bhagavan says that stage which is reached by karma sannyasi is also reached by karma yogi. So insofar the reaching the destination is concerned, they are the same. Yet, here is word tu. See, in Sanskrit, certain words are very dramatic. Yet, but, what happens? But, sannyaasastu mahabhaho dukkhamaptuma yogatah yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena. But what is happening? If somebody is ayogatah, that means those who has not followed karma yoga, for them sannyasa is dukkham apti. It is hard for them, difficult for them to follow the path of renunciation. That is the problem. Not insofar the reaching the goal is concerned. Yes, following the path, one path is more difficult to follow, the other is easier to follow. In that context, the karma yoga is better because it can be followed easily. Once yoga is harmonized, then that person goes to Brahma easily. Because what happens? The reason again is given that if you practice karma yoga, what will happen? There will be purification of mind and intellect. There will be chitta suddhi. Unless and until your chitta is not pure, your mind and intellect is not pure, you will not be able to go to the PhD level. You have to have certain requirement before you are able to receive the instruction, perform or listen to the scriptures. You go through the process of mananam, and then will you go to the dhyasanam, that is the jnana yoga, to be able to reach that Brahma, which is the ultimate goal. So, the practice of karma yoga makes the one qualified enough or more easily for him to understand this little literature and follow the meditation and follow the path of Nididhyasanam to reach the goal. Now, in this verse, again, the question is raised, why it is that difficult? One thing you talked about is about he is devoid of karma yoga. Other thing important is that for sannyasi, there is this kartitva. The difference again is that for a karma sannyasi, he does not have the kartitva bhav, doership. He does not have, when he performs action, then he does not consider himself to be performing the action. Akartitva bhav, no kartitva bhav. That is again very difficult. That means when we are in sansar, then we have to follow the various duties in the world, and in that process, you're likely to get involved in the sansar. Somehow or some way, at some place, you cannot completely dissociate yourself from sansar. It is very hard, but that is the requirement of those who are performing in the path of sannyasa. Kartitva bhav is there. It is easier that you perform action, and if there is resultant, you don't go towards that. No bhaktritva bhav. For karmi, those who are path of karma yoga, karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phalesu kadachana ma karma phala hetu. See, he always emphasizes is karma phala, karma phala. So karma phala, for a karma yogi, it is not that difficult to ignore karma phal. मैंने काम कर दिया, अब भगवान तुम जानो. So that kind of attitude is not difficult. But to say that मैंने काम किया ही नहीं, हम काम कर रहे हैं, सारा काम मैं किए जा रहा हूं, और मैं ये सोचूं कि मैं कर्म करता ही नहीं हूं, ये डिफिकल्ट है. That is what Bhagavan is saying. So, number of ways Bhagavan has taken to explain as to why the path of karma sannyasa is difficult, path of karma yoga is easier. And this is corroborated further in the verse 11 of chapter 18, where Bhagavan has clearly says, Nahi deha brata sakyam taktum karmanya sesatah yastu karma phala tyagi satyagi tyavidhiyate. For deha brata, embodied person, a person who is falling in the world, he is not away from the body. He has not distanced himself from the world activities. He is in the world. Deha brata saktum karmanas asesa. Completely he cannot dissociate it with karma. He has to perform karma. He cannot entirely give up karma, or he cannot dissociate himself completely from karma. But if he has renounced the fruit of action, that is karma yogi. He can renounce the fruit of action, and if he has done that in due process of time, he can become a sannyasi. So that is the difference between the sannyasi and karma yogi. One has to get rid, don't associate with karma, and other dissociate oneself from karma phala. Now, there is another important point is that a karma yogi has alternative to catch hold of भगवान का पैर पकड़ लिया उसने. मैं कर्म तो मैं कर रहा हूं, लेकिन आपके तरफ से मैं कर रहा हूं, मैं आपको समर्पण करके कर रहा हूं. हम मंदिर में जाते हैं, भगवान के लिए सब प्रसाद ले जाते हैं, प्रसाद ले जाकर तुदीयम वस्तु गोविंद तुद्यमेव समर्पय. हम कहते हैं ये भगवान, ये आपकी दी हुई चीज है, आपको मैं समर्पण कर रहा हूं, आपकी ही चीज को. दैट फीलिंग of a karma yogi has this kind of feeling that he is offering to Bhagavan. So the ability for, or the possibility or likelihood of a karma yogi to offer prasad to Bhagavan and forget about it and then take it, and prasad he will take it. But when he performing his action, he offers this to Bhagavan and he says he is taking his own ego out slowly and slowly. As we start praying to Lord with once in a while going to mandir, you start going every day, you perform, then every time, whatever action you yad karosi, yad asnasi, yad jihosi, everything what you perform, gradually and gradually a karma yogi gets into the habit of performing tyaga, his karma phala he is given to Bhagavan. Karma, gradually he starts giving up and giving up. He gets, his eye sense is watered down. His tamasic becomes rajasic becomes sattvic, and that's how he elevates himself. And as he does that, he goes to the state of karma sannyasi. Here he would like to bring upon how similar it is, the explanation which Bhagavan gives here about karma sannyasa and karma. Exactly similar explanation has been given by Bhagavan in 12th chapter. In 12th chapter, which we all recite, we all know very well, भगवान अर्जुन asked the question कि आपको मैं साकार रूप में पूजा करूं या निराकार में पूजा करूं? आप बताइए उसमें से कौन योग वेत्तमा है? भगवान कहते हैं दैट इट इज, दोनों हमारे लिए बराबर है, लेकिन जो मेरी साकार रूप में पूजा करता है उसको मैं अधिक मानता हूं। तो और फिर वहां कहते हैं क्लेश, बता एक्सप्लेन करते हैं, क्लेशोधिकतरस्ते सा व्यक्ता सक्त चेतसाम अव्यक्ता ही गतिर दुखम देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते। So the word dukham comes in here, is dukham about sannyasa. Here again also talks about gatir dukham. Dehavadvir again he talks about dehavrata. So dehavrata for the embodied person to pray to avyakta, unmanifest ब्रह्म को पूजा करना दुखतर है, is difficult to perform as against one with form. So that explanation which Bhagwan has given in chapter 12 about praying to the form or to the formless is beautifully explained here as well. Now let us move ahead to verse 7. What Bhagwan is saying that here Bhagwan is talking about how a person who is karma yogi gradually moves on, and then he can reach the state of that sannyasa, karma sannyasa. What he says here, yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriya sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. Here Bhagavan is using, you will see here, Atma, 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 several times used. It must be clear in our mind that in Bhagavad Gita, when the word Atma comes in, it is not necessarily the Atma or Paramatma or Jivatma. It can also mean intellect, it can also mean mind, it can also mean senses, it can even mean a body. So for all these in Bhagavad Gita, you will find here and there, Uddharedatmanatmanam Atmanam avasadayet Atmanye Yatmano Buddhi Atmeva Ripuratmana. See, 4 or 5 times Atma has been used. So we will come gradually to that, but just to make it clear that when we read these verses and we see the meaning, we should not question it as to why Bhagavan is using Atma and it means sense, it means intellect. No, it has its meaning in that way, and we should take it that way. Now, what here Bhagavan is using? He says Yoga Yukto, that means established when we say Yoga Yukta, he is talking about Karma Yoga. Established in Karma Yoga, Visuddha Atma, that means one is purified, having purified intellect. Vijitatma, one who has conquered the mind. You see, here we are talking about intellect, here we're talking about mind. Then Jitendriya, that means having conquered the senses. Once these things are there, what is happening? Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. That is, one who sees the soul of all souls in every living being. I will explain this. One who sees the soul of all souls in every living being, Kurvan Napi, although performing, Nalipyate, he does not get involved, never get involved. The straight meaning is that the Karma Yogi who are of purified intellect, so there is a qualification here. A Karma Yogi who are of purified intellect and you control the mind and senses, sees the soul of all souls in every living being, though performing all kinds of action, they are never entangled. I will explain all those. Let us see one after another what is the meaning of all the words what Bhagavan is saying here. What is happening here when we say Yoga Yukta? Yes, established in Karma Yoga. So he's talking about that person who is to start with having his performing action as a Karma Yogi. And we know all those, what is meaning by Karma Yogi. He graduates. What happens? He gets, by through process of Karma Yogi, he gets Vishuddhatma. He gets his mind and his intellect gets purified. That is Chitta Suddhi. When he get mind is intellect is purified, then his mind immediately gets turned towards Bhagavan. He negates the world. His mind, his senses and body, he gets dissociated. Once your intellect is purified, then that is the junction where the spark of divinity enlightens the whole body. So once that is pure and crystal clear, then he starts seeing Bhagavan directly. There is a process of his getting in contact with Brahma, and then he थिंग्स संसार है नहीं, संसार से उसकी विरक्ति हो जाती है, संसार उसके लिए कोई इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं रहता है, वो संसार को निगेटिव होता है, उससे परे हो जाता है. एंड ऑफ कोर्स विजितात्मा, he has conquered the mind. Jitendriya, his senses are under his control. When all these things happen, so what is happening? Yo mam pasyati sarvatra sarvam cha mahi pasyati. That सम्यक दर्शन भाव उसमें आ जाता है. उस व्यक्ति में जिसने कर्म योग पर चला है, लेकिन in due course of time his mind, intellect gets purified, his senses and all those things are fully under his control, then what he is seeing? He is seeing the presence of Brahma in each one individual. Individual में उसे इंडिविजुअल दिखाई नहीं पड़ता है, उस इंडिविजुअल में परमात्मा दिखाई पड़ता है. जब आप किसी संत महात्मा को, जिसको आप महाराज जी, जैसे महाराज जी हमारे लिए हैं, हम जब महाराज जी को देखते हैं तो क्या हमें लगता नहीं है कि भगवान को देख रहे हैं? आप जरा सोचिए इस बात को कि अगर चन्नू मन्नू आया तो उसको आप पैर नहीं पकड़ेंगे, कहेंगे ये चन्नू है या मन्नू है. बट द मोमेंट यू सी गुरुदेव, you immediately think that you are Brahma in front of you. तो अगर महाराज अपने गुरु के लिए आपके मन में ये भाव है, क्या ये भाव हर एक व्यक्ति के लिए नहीं क्रिएट कर सकते हैं? अगर हर एक व्यक्ति के लिए क्रिएट कर सकते हैं तो आप सब में ब्रह्म देख सकते हैं. Your mind and intellect get so much purified that you start seeing that Gurudev in each one of them. You consider every individual which comes in front of you, you consider them as Bhagavan, nothing else. Because actually, द्वैत भाव जब आ जाता है, when one gets a द्वैत भाव, कुछ नहीं रहता है. Everything, everyone becomes just Brahma for him. That is the state is reached by a person, even though he is starting as a Karma Yogi, because of the process which that Karma Yogi goes through, that he gets into the state of Yo Mam Pasti. There is one verse in verse 13, chapter 13, verse 2. Chapter 13 is Kshetra Kshetragya Vibhaga Yoga. In chapter 13, Bhagavan talks about Kshetra and Kshatragya. That means the body and the soul. He makes a distinction between the body and the soul. Beautiful chapter we have gone through during celebrations. Maharaj Ji ka birthday celebration hua tha last year. We went through chapter 13 there. You see that there, there is one verse, chapter 2, Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetresu bharata Chetra Chetragyayorjnanam Yataj Jnanam Matam Mama. That is the verse 2 of chapter 13. So beautifully, Bhagavan explains that the Kshetragya in you is the same as Kshetragya in all the Kshetragya. किसी भी जीव में जो आत्मा है वही आत्मा मैं हूं और मैं आप में जो है वो सभी में वही है. The presence of same one Brahma, existence of one Brahma in everybody, that is the one which Bhagavan says, I am. I am Kshetragya in all Kshetra. I am same Brahma. That understanding of pure Advaita Vedanta is given in this verse. One verse contains total summary of whole Vedanta philosophy, Advaita Vedanta philosophy. So that is the one which one person who is here in this verse Bhagavan is talking about. What is happening to him? Purvanapi na lipyate. He sees presence of Brahma, each one of them, and even though performing action. So see, here the emphasis is that Purvan Napi, that means he is performing action, not that he has given up performing action. No, he's performing. And actually, nobody can give up action anyway. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karmakrit. Even if somebody in the Himalayan cave, has he not to perform the regular duties of taking bath, going to the toilet, going for food from somewhere, eating, sleeping? Is not sleeping an action? सब ही तो एक्शन है. जो भी कर्म, जो कुछ भी तो कर्म, हाथ उठाना, बैठना, उठना, सारे शरीर की क्रियाएं हो रही हैं. All the activities are going on. You cannot remain without performing action. So action has to be performed. Here, Bhagavan is talking about that person who established in Karma Yoga, even if he's performing action, although performing action, he is not entangled. He is totally nirlipt रहता है, uninvolved रहता है. He is not entangled. उसको किसी तरह का पाप पुण्य नहीं लगता है. He is as if he is writing on flowing water. अगर flowing water पर आप लिखेंगे कुछ भी लिखाएगा नहीं. Now that is this understanding. I try to again bring this kind of table to keep that in mind. This picture can be kept in mind and analyzed as to how one can improve oneself gradually so as to train our senses. These are the sense objects in the world. We have got the sound, touch, form, taste, smell. These are the विषय. इस संसार में शब्द, स्पर्श, रूप, रस, गंध, ये सब संसार के विषय हैं. ये संसार के विषय से हमारी इंद्रियां जो हैं, yes, skin, eyes, tongue, no, all these senses are always bahirmukhi. They are always going towards sense objects. But then, unless the mind is involved, whatever actions they perform, they will not be of any use. When we says na lipyate, that means he is cutting off here. He is not allowing his mind to be associated with senses. Even though the sound is coming, if you have switched off your ear sense, you will not hear. And it happens, we have talked about many times. घंटा बजता रहता है, 12 बार घंटा बोल गया, लेकिन आपको ध्यान आ रहे कितना बज गया, कहीं 12 बजा कि नहीं बजा. But because you are involved in studying something so deeply that बड़ा घंटा घड़ी में घंटा बज गया, आपको सुनाई नहीं पड़ा. Not that your ears were not opened up in the sense that you were not blocked, not that you had any ear disease, but everybody experience that these things happen. you go through, you see, so you walk through the street, you see so many person, but you do not see them, in the sense that you do not allow your mind to be associated with the senses, so that sense do not appreciate the sense object. But then sense, this mind again is associated with soul, consciousness, and that consciousness gives the. Once there is a disconnection here, as I was talking about, then all these things are completely cut off. Even if there is a connection between sense objects and senses, the mind is not associated. And if intellect is completely purified, चित्त शुद्धि हो जाती है, then this thing is completely cut off. The mind, it turns अंतर्मुखी. जो पहले बहिर्मुखी था, जो मन इंद्रियों के साथ, इंद्रियों के विषयों में लगा हुआ था, और इंद्रियों के विषयों में लगने के कारण राग द्वेष सारी समस्याएं आती थी, ये सारी समस्याएं मिट जाती हैं, बिकॉज तब मन तो लगता है भगवान में. अगर भगवान में जब मंदिर आप जाते हैं, मंदिर में आप धार्मिक स्थान में जाते हैं, कितनी बार आप सोचते हैं कि मेरा बैंक बैलेंस क्या हुआ, क्या नहीं हुआ, सब छूट जाता है अपनी जगह पर. यू डू नॉट थिंक ऑफ योर ऑफिस, नॉट यू. अगर आप सच्चे भक्त हैं, अगर आप सच्चे भक्ति भाव से आप भगवान के मंदिर में जाते हैं, तो बिकॉज योर सेंसेस एंड सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट्स आर टूवर्ड्स भगवान की तरफ लगा रहता है, मन आपका भगवान में लगा रहता है, तो मन का ऐसा क्वालिफिकेशन है that if you allow the mind to be associated with X, it will not be associated with Y. ये मन एक ही जगह लगता है. इसीलिए अगर अपने मन को हम ट्रेन करके we allow that mind to be associated with some place, and if mind is associated with Brahma, nothing like this, then all these things will be completely out of gear. They will not be functioning. You will not be associated with all these. And then that state comes when you see चित देखो चित श्याम मई है. जिस महा आप देख रहे हैं वही श्याम है और कुछ भी नहीं है. I think I will stop here today. जय श्री कृष्ण, जय गुरु.